Conference, Young Women's Leadership. The aim of the project is to increase the number of European vulnerable girls and young women into the digital agenda. Today, Plan International Spain is organizing the second dissemination conference of the EEA and Norway grants that co-finance the Women4IT project on young women's leadership in the digital economy. Today's event is going to be both face-to-face here in Madrid and also streaming online. In today's panels and talk, we are going to discuss the role of young women in the digital economy and their training to participate in the tech sector in the context of Young Women IT Project. We will have with us digital skill experts, training providers, young participants who have been involved in the trainings, women leaders in the IT industry, and institutional representatives. We are going to start off with a welcome introduction speech from Begoña Solórzano. Begoña is the project manager of the Women4IT Project in Plan International Spain, and she's also the local programs director. Welcome, Begoña.
Thank you, Jen. Good morning, everyone, and warm welcome to this event organized on the International Day of Internet and in the framework of the Women4IT Project, which promotes young women's leadership in the digital economy. Thank you all for being here, both those here in person as well as those following the event as it's streamed on social media. 2 years ago, in 2019, we organized the event Girls Get Tech to call for equal power, equal freedom, and equal experience for girls in tech. Today, after a year of the pandemic, this call is more urgent than before. It's more apparent than ever that technologies are reshaping our lives in the way we work. Millennials, young people between the age of 18 and 29, may have been raised on technology and are highly engaged on social media. This has also its risks, as we have seen in our research, free to be online, which shows how social media platforms can pose major risks for girls and adolescents, with almost 60% of them having suffered online harassment worldwide. Beyond social use, it's fundamental girls are digital literate for education and work, which encompass multiple skills as well as knowledge and understanding of the digital world. Inequality in access to tech education, cultural traditions, and stereotypes, internal and external barriers create major barriers for girls and women in technology. We need to promote young women participation in the digital economy, not only because it's a matter of rights and equality, but also because it generates opportunities and is proven to be extremely cost-effective. Today, we bring together young women who have decided to start a professional career in the digital economy, inspirational women leadership who have opened new paths in the fields, as well as companies that are committed to inclusion and diversity through hiring and mentoring these young women. Thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to listening to your experience. Let's make this event the start of something bigger, and let's keep collaborating for a digital, equal, and just future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Begoña. And now let's move on to the next opening speech with Carmen Tobar Sánchez, Director of the National Institute of Education Evaluation and representative of the STEAM Alliance from the Spanish Ministry of Education.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Plan International for the kind invitation to participate in this meeting, Women4IT. The promotion of STEAM vocations in general, and in particular among female students, is definitely an imperative in order to address the challenges of the future and those we face as a country. Over the last decade, STEAM employment grew in the US 6 times more than all other professions, according to the US Department of Commerce. In Europe, 58% of companies looking to recruit digital specialists report difficulties in doing so, and 78% of companies identify a lack of adequate skills as the main barrier to new investments. Nevertheless, these data contrast with the low participation of women in these areas. In Spain, the gender gap is already evident in the Science and Technology Baccalaureate, where girls account only for 47% of students. In vocational education and training, female presence is lower in all vocational families linked to STEAM subjects, and is particularly low in professional studies such as computer science and communications, with only 11.4%. The situation is similar for bachelor's and master's degrees, with few students studying engineering, industry, and building, 28.5%, or computer science, 12.9%. Because of these huge gender disparities in STEM disciplines, national and international organizations stress the need to join efforts to address gender-based stereotypes and biases in order to improve women's participation in STEAM fields. STEAM disciplines are the foundation underpinning the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and the education in these subjects can provide students with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed to create inclusive and sustainable societies. The European Commission's Digital Education Action Plan 2021-2027, Adapting Education and Training for the Digital Age, sets the objective of improving digital competencies and skills for the digital transformation and promoting women's participation in STEAM studies. Moreover, the Spanish Digital Plan 2025 upholds that the education system must foster scientific and technological vocations, both in boys and girls. At ministry level, we're engaged in structural reforms to help our schools cope in a successful way with 21st century society. One of our key measures has been the enactment of the new law of education, the LOMLOE. LOMLOE represents an unprecedented commitment to the development of all talents and equity in education. One of the 5 key pillars of the law is its transversal approach to gender equality through co-education and the promotion of educational and vocational guidance for students from an inclusive and gender-neutral perspective. Regarding STEAM subjects, the new law specifically establishes that educational administrations should promote increasing female students' representation in the STEAM fields, as well as in vocational education and training. Besides, it encourages curricula, textbooks, and other educational materials to promote the equality of women and men. Together with these structural reforms, we have launched the STEAM Alliance for Female Talent, Girls in Science, of which Plan Internacional is an important member, as a key strategy that will contribute to shape an education and training system capable of firmly facing the digital, scientific, and technological revolution in which we are immersed, free of gender biases. The STEAM Alliance for Female Talent has as a main goal joining efforts, seeking synergies, and promoting specific initiatives that contribute to shape an education that removes the gender stereotypes associated with certain professions. It promotes female empowerment in STEAM disciplines from early stages of education and contributes to closing the gender gap in the access of our young women to these disciplines. The main objectives of STEAM Alliance are generating collective intelligence and expert knowledge to guide decision-making and actions focused on promoting STEAM vocations in female students, reinforcing institutional cooperation and collaboration in the STEAM field with autonomous communities, ministries, etc. Making visible the initiatives and projects developed by entities, companies, media, etc., aimed at promoting the interests of girls and young women in STEAM disciplines. Encouraging collaboration with companies, organizations, and strategic education groups of the civil society to promote STEAM professions in their field of action. increasing the number of female students in basic, intermediate, and higher vocational education and training in the scientific technological tracks, raising the number of female students in compulsory secondary education and baccalaureate who choose subjects linked to the scientific technological field, increasing the number of female students entering university opting for STEAM subjects, and showing the contribution of women in STEAM fields in primary, secondary, and vet education. The STEAM Alliance will also implement actions to facilitate the empowerment of girls and young women in these areas. Among them, I would like to highlight the creation of a quality label that would be given to companies and third sector entities as well as schools, a program for professional guidance focused on STEAM vocations to stop gender barriers, a call for STEAM projects in early childhood, primary and secondary school, and vocational education and training schools, the development of social awareness campaigns, the improvement of teacher training in active learning and inquiry methodologies, and the promotion of a mentoring network for girls and young women in STEAM fields. The Alliance, led by the Ministry of Education and Vocational Training, includes more than 19 different organizations and will follow a work plan to promote these actions. Let me add now, the day women can make an equal contribution to science, this world will certainly be a better place. This country needs the strength of women and the transformative power of science. More women in science will mean a better future for everyone. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Carmen Tovar Sanchez and Begoña Solórzano. Thank you so much. And now we are going to move on to the first panel of today's conference, where we will discuss the role of companies in Women4IT with mentors, employers, and training providers. The aim of this panel is to find out the private sector needs and its opinion on the project. I welcome to the stage, first of all, our first speaker, Estela Quesada. Estela is Digital Success Manager in IBM Corporate Social Responsibility, an area that she loves and where she finds the power of transformation that corporations can generate. Yes, you can come up to the stage. She has worked more than 14 years in different areas of HR in international companies as consultant, project manager, leading teams, and facilitating change and transformation in organizations. Welcome. And our second speaker is Monica Arana. Welcome, Monica. Monica works in content generation as an online tutor in e-commerce and digital marketing copy. She is always looking for new challenges, the last one being an online trainer. She also contributes to digital transformation, and she's always thinking about how to help with her writing for a more sustainable world. Welcome. And online, we have with us Rita Raisa Jevdokimova. She's skilled in human resources project management, working in international and external communication, employer branding, event coordination and recruitment, and outside HR. She's also an expert in intercultural communication with a passion for learning languages, history, and world politics. Welcome, Rita.
Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome to the three of you. So first of all, what's the role of the companies? What do you think is the role of the companies involved in Women4IT? Maybe we can start with Rita.
Yeah. Firstly, again, thanks for having me here. I think this is a very great opportunity to discuss from various parties involved. And I'm happy to open with the role of the companies as a company representative that focuses on software testing. So we are very happy to have taken on women who have completed the Women4IT course as interns at the company. And more broadly speaking, I think our role and role of companies in general is to provide these opportunities for further learning. So sustaining the project after the course ends, be it through internship opportunities, job opportunities, further learning. We provide internal courses, mentorship, and sort of sustaining that excitement with which women come to the companies after they finish the course.
Okay. What do you think, Estela? What's the role of the companies involved in the project?
We believe the role, I mean, we have our labor market, we have companies, and then there is many times a gap in between, right? So I think we believe that companies can provide a better information to the organizations like Plan International to what is needed really in corporations. What are the challenges corporations are having? What are we finding we need? And the role of women in IT is key on that. So many companies like IBM are looking for women that can provide those skills and those things that are really required for us. So I think our role is really to tell you, okay, we are here, we can support you. There are so many things that from an organizational level we can provide to organizations like Plan International, and is starting the communication to bridge that gap that we have in corporations and in the labor market.
Yeah, to be open, welcoming to this kind of projects.
Exactly. And we have, in our program in Skill Builds, we have a focusing not only saying what we need, but also offering solutions. Let's say we have our platform that is part of the corporate social responsibility area of IBM, where we can offer training, we offer mentoring, we offer solutions so that organizations like Plan International can follow up the needs that women have in order to get trained in those skills that are really required in the market.
What about you, Monica? What do you think?
First, let me thank you, Plan International, and Bijob also for giving me the opportunity of being the guide of these amazing girls for 3 months. It's been such a journey. And I have an idea that came up to my mind these last days, thinking about the women role in companies, and I'm curious about what you think about this, Estela. I'm thinking about women, historically, we've been the caregivers of the tribe and the clan. We took care of the sick people, we took care of the babies, we took care of the elderly. And now we don't have to sit in the cave anymore, and that's so great, because we can go and hunt for ourselves. But I think we still have those qualities. What qualities are the caregivers' qualities? If you think about it, it's about strength, about detecting others' needs, empathy, and I think internet really needs that. Don't you think so, as a woman on a digital company?
And that's precisely the reason why organizations are saying, I want to have a more diverse team. I want to have women here, because our attention, the way we work, many times is different. So
we have to transfer those qualities from real world to digital world, and we can put that on the table. And this amazing young talent, I think these are the ones who can do it. And have you noticed that? I'm so excited because for the first time in my life, I'm in an event running for women. I mean, women are, we have amazing men there, the cameraman, okay? But look around us.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but in my life, it's the first time that I'm in an event running for women. How do you say that? For women?
We are running an event for women, and we are surrounded of women, right?
And especially an event that is about IT.
Exactly.
Because if you work in the IT world, you're always surrounded by men.
Exactly.
And it's fine, it's okay, but it's nice when you're with your partners and with your colleagues and they're also women, because everyone has different perspectives and points of view, but that's really nice. Today is really nice, being here surrounded by...
Something is happening.
Yeah.
It's happening already.
And I look with, how can I say, with hope as well. When now it's been a year and something more that we don't go to the offices, exceptionally only when there is a very specific need. But walking through the corridors, walking through the offices, I can see more and more women, and this is really what you say is precisely things are changing. And also this comes with some challenges as well, if I may say, because this is a role that we need to start finding ourselves, let's say. We've been the caregivers. Now we need to find the balance.
Right.
How do we move towards taking care of what society requires, IT requires, our families require maybe. So it's also discovering the new way on how to proceed, on how our new role, what do we have to give.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. Going back to the project, I wanted to know in what ways do you think that the project will grow to help more women to start a career in STEAM or IT disciplines? Any extras, any ideas to make it even better? Because even now it's amazing, it's a wonderful project, but what do you think it can be done besides what we are doing now?
For creating a better
for the Women4IT project, yeah.
Okay. I can speak about the achievements. The achievements of the program, I think I could be speaking about them for hours, but let me highlight at least two. One is the fact that this program put together different women from different backgrounds. And that's very interesting because all of them have an interesting story behind them. So when you put them together, they create a sense of team spirit. They create this strong network. And I think this is going to help them in the future, in their professional careers. So that point is important. Also, it's one of the biggest achievements is the fact that they will be able to develop digital projects in only 3 months. And if you think, these women started the program without no professional knowledge about internet at all. Their only knowledge was as users or consumers. So if in only 3 months, they were able to create projects for real life. And real good projects. I told them, I think the secret was I gave them freedom. I told them, you have to create something that really touches your heart, something that you wanted to make an impact with that, so think about it. So they've been thinking about it for many weeks, and in the end they created projects about sustainability, about social challenges. I have women, some of the young women working on company projects. Some they have this traditional family company who doesn't have a strong presence on internet.
Okay.
So they decide to develop some project for their companies. Also personal branding, fashion, everything. We have Patricia and Kenya.
Yeah.
They'll speak later about Nisu.
Yeah.
They made an amazing job also. So the fact that they could create a digital project for real life in only 3 months, starting from zero, this means they are hard workers, fast learners, they are so motivated, and they are so aware about the world they live in, about the challenges they have to face, and they want to contribute to improve this, to improve the world.
Rita, I wanted to know, what do you think that it could be done besides what it's been doing right now in the project? And also, what do you think, as Monica said, what do you think are the strengths of the program?
Yeah, I wrote down actually a couple of points that I want to mention. The first that was already said by Monica, I think, is about the network that it creates. I think this is one of the biggest strengths of the project, is creating the network for women. And on the things that could be improved together with that, I could mention sustaining that network after the project is done or after the course is done. I think this is very important, and this is what we've witnessed within the company as well. So for example, the women join our company and they're placed in different teams and projects at Tesla Lab, but they do still keep in touch about the project, and the network keeps sort of growing and being there for them. I think that is very important and could be further improved as well. Something else I think is generally raising awareness. That is also one of the biggest strengths of the project, and targeting specifically women through unemployment agencies. At least I know that's how it happens in Latvia. And that's what I've talked with our current colleagues as well who completed the course. They were unemployed, they were looking for new challenges and learning opportunities. So I think this is very well done. But even further raising awareness about the project itself, I think is very important through social media, through different events like this one, for example, dissemination conferences, I think joint webinars with company representatives. That is definitely very good. It could be improved in the future as well. And lastly, I also wanted to mention that the course perhaps could be also done fully in English, because I think the IT sector, as it is growing in a globalized world, English skills are basically almost needed almost at every company, at every level. So I think that would also make the course more accessible in all the countries that it already is, and sort of give women a chance to experience the real life world and using English on a daily basis after the course as well.
And that's, oh, sorry, Estela, please.
Yeah, I believe there is a very good balance within the project. Maybe the opportunity we have is to keep the drum beating, saying this cannot be, it could be an opportunity, a unique opportunity, but this is something that is really required. So we have Women4IT once, again and again and again, because this is really in need. So I think the opportunity is to keep that going on, and also connecting with the labor market. This is something that we are also working within IBM and our program Skill Builds, to say, okay, how can we connect training, learning, developing those skills that are required, and put them in contact with women, give the women opportunities, not only to launch their own organizations, but also connect to the labor market and see how can we generate as well jobs, opportunities, and all that resides in here. Also, something that we like to talk about is new collars within IBM. And these new collars means precisely what Monica was saying. We don't need to we don't need to go to university to receive a training to be able to be women in IT. So things are changing so quickly. We just need to make sure that we are up to date and that we train quickly to what is needed in the moment. And then taking that, put it into action, and come back, train again. So this is something very dynamic. And this is the key, I think, that we need to keep in mind, that the dynamics of the market are always changing, and we need to be adapting all the time. So, yeah.
I totally agree with you. And I think this training provides this general overview about how internet works. So that's like the first step. Because once you understand the rules of the game, you can play the game, and you can specialize in the different parts of the game later. But you think to have this general overview first. Yeah, and I think this kind of training gives exactly that. So that's why it's so important to, yeah.
Rita, is there anyone you
I
want to add?
can quickly add?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, thank you. I think this is a very good discussion, and this is where the role of the companies comes in. So I think the project already gives a great overview, and then when you actually enter the job market, then you can see where you can specialize, and there are many different opportunities, many different technologies that you could use. So this is where the role of companies comes in to provide those.
I also wanted to know, this question is not here in the script, but I wanted to know, did you find any hardships during the training with the young girls? Any hardships during the training, and how did you overcome that?
Not really. I mean,
No?
No.
It went smoothly?
It was pretty smooth. I was so lucky with the two groups. Yeah, it was like we have big discussions. We debate a lot of things, and especially about how to create an internet for good. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
So it was like we were discovering things step by step, and they were so surprised about things like advertising, controlling our lives, and things like that. No, internet is this powerful tool.
Yeah.
So you have to be in control, because if you don't control the tool can maybe eat you, I don't know. So they were so curious, and I was so surprised, because in this moment of my life, I don't have any direct relationship with people in their 20s. I mean, I'm very good dealing with 13 years and younger, or 35 years and older, but 20s, no, they are not in my private life. So I was very curious about how these women are nowadays, because when I was in my 20s, I'm worried about traveling, about having fun, but these ladies, no. These ladies are so committed with the world, so they are eager to know how to create a better world, this better internet. So that's why everything runs smoothly. And I learned so much from them. I can tell you, it was an exchange. I was a guide, but for me, I mean, it was such an experience. So yeah, it was very smooth, ran very smooth.
Rita, what about you? What do you have to add?
Yeah, for us as a company, everybody who has joined has also been a very smooth process. Yeah, it's been great, and we've also noticed having more women in general helps us a lot. Some of the things that we've noticed is that they, as was already mentioned before, they have a very nurturing attitude, great communication skills, and especially for testing, they have precision to details, and just a very caring attitude towards their work. And in testing, it helps them a lot as well. So we've had a wonderful experience.
Yes, we were mentioning before, like we put our personal skills that we learn in our day-to-day life in our work life as well. Anything you want to add about this?
Well, I was directly working with some of the people in Plan International, and I can just say that it is just such a great team, right? That so focusing in serving the women and make everything work. So it is a pleasure from that sense, yeah.
And lastly, I want to know, what are your thoughts about how can we involve more companies into initiatives such as this one or the next Women4IT project?
Yeah, I think communication, we believe that communication, it is a key role. It has a key role because organizations have a lot of know-how or resources. Many times it can be people providing mentoring, it can be economic resources, it could be our platform, for example, in the case of IBM. There are so many things. So if there is a communication, if there is an understanding of where do we want to go, I think companies can provide a lot. ¿Mejor? Any better?
Yeah. Now we can hear you better.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, maintaining that communication and understanding who can provide what, and collaborating, knowing that we are together on this, and that we can do a lot to improve how the visibility of women in IT companies, in the IT world. So yeah.
What do you think, Rita? How do you think we can get more companies into getting involved in the next Women4IT or projects such as this one?
Yeah, I totally agree that collaboration is the key and communication with companies. So we have been involved in similar projects as well, and giving companies an opportunity to participate in talks directly with the participants has been great. Similarly happened with Women4IT. So we had a company representative who gave a talk and explained about the different opportunities that we offer. And I think just offering this to companies is already a great step. Further on, I do think that involving engineers, and especially women who are already in, let's say, experienced positions and leadership positions within companies is important. So for example, diversing and offering multiple companies to join and share knowledge whilst the project is happening is also a great way to go.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you so much. Now, before continuing with the next panel, we have a few minutes to ask questions to our speakers. both face-to-face if you would like to, and also through our chat in the live video. So if anyone would like to ask any questions.
Can I?
There is one thing
Yeah,
I
of
would like
course.
to say, if possible, because regarding something that Rita brought to the table, that is having the training in English or in the local languages, you know, this is a very important topic also, because if we want to work with vulnerable population, there is a gap with the language. There is a barrier with the language.
In Spain, for sure. Yeah.
In Spain, for sure. I mean, there are many other countries whose reality may be slightly different. So I think something that we need to think how we move forward is to keep that balance between knowing what it is IT, knowing to have that general view that Monica was saying before, knowing the rules of the market, the internet, everything that means IT, and going deeper, also knowing that we have those barriers with the language. So I think this is a key element where we need to focus, especially thinking about Spain.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have local resources that are in Spanish, but the IT world speaks English. Yeah. So how to manage that is a challenge that we have as a society, as women, and how to move this forward. And that I think is a key element to allow the growth.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I was thinking about other thing, it's the experience that is required. When you go to a job interview, no, experience is always like, what's your experience? I think we should put the experience thing a little bit aside, in my opinion, because experience is something you gain by working, you need to work. So the companies really need to give an opportunity to these ladies who still doesn't have all the experience because they are young. I mean, they are starting their careers. So
you can never get a job if you don't have experience first, but maybe you're super talented or driven, or you're really passionate about that role in particular, but you don't have any experience.
That's
it. So people who work in HR and recruitment should see that in the candidate.
That's it.
Not only the experience, but their passion.
Again, the hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
And we also need to think that there are so many ways to bring that experience. Yeah. So we have project-based learning. With project-based learning, you start applying those skills that are learned. So this can be, so our mind needs to be open to say, maybe I haven't had a job position or a role where I have applied this, but I have this other way in which I have applied what I have learned, that is the role-based learning. And I think this is an opportunity we need to apply as well, to leverage and to make sure that those skills are used.
And I think it's really important to mention for young women or women in general watching us that we, as women, we don't apply for jobs if we don't meet 100% the criteria of the job application. We don't. We think we're not enough. But men do. Like, usually they do. And they get jobs. So apply for the job you want, even if you don't meet 100% the criteria of the job description. Just do it. Just go to the job interview and maybe you won't get the job, but it's a good experience. So
self-confidence. We need to reinforce our self-confidence, right? Yeah, it's about.
Rita, is anything else that you want to add? Because by now we don't have any questions, I think.
Yeah, I'll quickly add to the previous discussion. We've had a very good experience with both women and men who have joined from other professions. And I think this is something very important to realize during the recruitment process and the interview process, is that you can bring any kind of knowledge and experience into the IT field as well. So you don't necessarily need to know all the technologies and be extremely skilled in IT. But for example, we have people who have worked as sound engineers and something in relation to music, and now they do audio and video testing. So they've learned through the process all the technologies and IT skills whilst working here. But before joining, they already had that previous experience. Or for example, we've had people who have reskilled from tourism, let's say, and there are still so many great skills that you can take from your previous profession and your previous field. So communication skills, planning skills, all of that is very important when applying to a job in IT as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can put anything that you learn from your life, you can put into IT in so many ways. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to add before we finish the talk?
I mean, it's great, and this project is happening in different countries at the same time, so it's like you can feel the energy, and I like that.
Yeah, I like to add something that is, it could be great to receive your feedback as well. Meaning, this project is finishing, what are our lessons learned? Which are things that we think we can improve as well from our side as an organization that is collaborating with you? Which are the voices of the women that are using the platform, having mentorship, mentoring, or whatever? So I think an important, a good element is understand what can we do better and keep that communication to say, okay, we can go together and achieve more or learn more together. So I wanted to add that because we would be really happy to hear from you, from all the women that have used our platform, that has been in touch with us, and say, these are things that I like, these are the barriers, these are things that we can do better, and we would be really happy to learn from that.
Absolutely, that's great. Thank you so much. Rita, is there anything else that you want to add or say before we finish?
Yeah, just as a closing remark, similar to what was said, I think feedback is important, but also just, again, communication with companies is important. So if there's anything that you still need from our side, we're always happy to respond to emails, join on a call, have a similar conversation via video. So I think cooperation and communication with companies is very important and should be continued in the future as well.
Thank you. Thank you so very much to the three of you, inspiring, wonderful women in IT. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And now we're going to get on with our next panel, our panel discussion number 2. Thank you so much. We're young women. Thank you. Yeah. Let's give it a round of applause. As I was saying, let's get on with our panel discussion number 2, where young women participants in Women4IT are going to share their thoughts and experiences of the project. We have the pleasure to have 6 students here with us. From Spain, we have Sofía Utrera, Patricia Pintor, and Kenia Miranda. Please come up to the stage. We need an extra stall. Hi. Okay, perfect. And then from Latvia, we have Ausma Tirulnici. I hope I said that correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. From Ireland, we have with us Jean Kennedy, and from Romania, Teodora Stirbat. Hi, everyone. Can you hear us well? Yeah? Is it
perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, great. Hi, Sofia, Patricia.
Hi.
And Kenia, how are you?
Good.
Yeah? Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, really excited.
Yeah? Okay, so we're going to start with the first question that says, what has it mean for you to participate in the project on a professional and on a personal level as well? Because I'm sure that you're keeping some things, some valuable teachings for your personal life and for your general journey as well. We can start with you, maybe?
Firstly, I'm really grateful for Women4IT for having me and for giving me this opportunity to learn about IT. At first, I didn't know anything about IT. I have a general knowledge about it. But actually, I learned so much from my tutor, Monica. And as she said before, personally, it helped me to grow a lot because I had so many colleagues from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
and I felt really identified with them. They were so much older than me, but actually their experiences that they told me were very helpful to me to grow in a personal level. But in a professionally, I want to dedicate my professional life to this, to IT.
Okay.
I felt.
Did you know that before doing this program?
No, I didn't know it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what I wanted to study.
Okay.
Because I just finished my high school. So I was really confused what I want to do. I want to be a hairdresser, or I want to be a fashion designer. I didn't know what I really wanted. But actually, this program did really help me, and I felt like I have so much to give in the IT
Of course.
Professionally. So that's what I would say.
That's wonderful. What about you?
Me, the best of that project for me are the group that we make, all the women that we are involved in the project.
So it was nice for you to be working
Yes,
on
because
IT
I
with
learned
other
a
girls.
lot of my mates. Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
We are fashion designers.
Yes. Okay.
So when we finished all our studies, we found out about this course.
You have created the company together?
Sí,
The two of you?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
we can talk about that later.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. And so when we found out about this course, we signed up. And after this course, and for Monica, because she created a team with all the girls, we were not only women, we were a team and working together. And I think that is the best thing about this course, because we learn how to work together, and we learn about IT. And I'm really thankful for Monica for that.
That's great. She's so happy there in the crowd. And watching us on the live stream, Ausma, what has it meant for you to participate in the project? What can you tell us? I think we have some video issue that we're trying to solve. Maybe Jean?
Yeah, on a professional level, I guess I really, it brought me back into working life. I lost my job. I was a professional performer, Irish dancer, traveling the world on tour. And when I got home, I saw Women4IT advertised, and I got to join online, and it just gave me a new purpose, to be honest. I thought that I was unemployed now. I had no other option to wait or find a new job in a completely different sector. But Women4IT, I did the graphic design course, and through the course, I learned how to bring my profession online. So I didn't leave my original job. I just learned how to change it into something that I could sell online.
Okay. And now we can ask Theodora, what has it meant, the project for you? What has changed in your life, professionally, personally, after the training?
Well, first to say, it's really an honor to be among so many strong women. The project for me professionally was indeed very, very valuable, because I could actually have more confidence in my analytical skills, time organization skills, and all of that. But on the personal side, it impacted me even more, because the mentorship component was what actually gave me the courage to pursue a career in STEM and in IT. So that was for me the point where I actually realized that mentorship is so important, and having someone to encourage you and support you throughout your journey um, is really valuable, and it helps women all around that want to get into the STEM sector.
Yeah, of course. Of course, we need to support each other as women in IT, and of course, it's always really helpful that you have a mentor or a role model in this industry. I also wanted to know what things would you highlight from the project? If there are any memories or any thoughts that you want to share, any good memories, any milestones of achievements that you felt during the teaching?
I felt really welcome when we had to present our projects. And I came across so many ideas, amazing ideas from my colleagues, and they were so amazing. I didn't know that someone who didn't know anything about tea was able to do those things, and it's inspiring me to get better. Also, I think those colleagues are more close to me. I think they are more than my friends. We talk a lot in our groups, and we actually went to have a drink and talk about our personal lives. So we are more close together than we thought we would be.
Okay, that's really nice. What about you? Any memories that you have?
I think the same thing, because, like I said, we were a team, and now, we create a group in WhatsApp, and every single day we are asking about how is our lives, how is the work, and all the time supporting each other, and I think that is very helpful for us, because we feel stronger together, and we think that we can work like a team. No, I don't know what more say.
Yes, that's really nice. Yes. Jean, what about you? Any thoughts or nice memories from the training?
Yeah, I think the milestone for me was how accessible the course was, because I had to travel towards the end of the course. I had to travel to Taiwan for an opportunity, and I was nervous that because I got a work opportunity that I couldn't finish the course, but it was only a short-term tour, like 2 weeks. So when I was in quarantine in Taiwan, I got to present my project. And I just thought maybe in a different course that wouldn't be allowed, that flexibility wouldn't have been there. But because they were the whole panel was so encouraging of it, and they were so happy to see me get the opportunity, and they still allowed me to present my project even on the other side of the world. So it was just amazing to see that.
That's wonderful. That sounds great. Yeah. Theodora, what about you?
Well, I would again stress the community component of it, which is really amazing. I would always remember that, the fact that we actually felt like in a community and that we can support each other. But aside that, I think some things that I will always remember, because I did the software testing course, is the actual skills that we already have to work with tools that we encounter every day. So we worked a lot with apps, we work a lot with data and SQL, and that's the moment when I realized that I encounter these applications and these digital tools every day, but now I actually know how they work in the background. And I can contribute to developing more efficient tools. So every time I would realize that this is about an app that I knew before, or this is about data sets that I saw before during my studies, I was really happy that finally I know how they work in the background.
Sounds great. Now that I'm with you, I wanted to ask, Theodora, if you had to encourage someone to join the project, what would you tell them?
I would totally encourage anyone to try the project out. I think the biggest selling point is that is the retraining or training of skills in a very short time. So could really relate to what was being said before in the panel, that you don't need a diploma, you don't need 4 years of studies in IT sector before. Of course, it helps. But you can definitely gain the skills that you need to thrive in the sector during this really short, intense, comprised course that is really can take you from 0 to 100 in a really short time. That's how I would encourage people.
In your case, Jean, what would you say?
Yes, I agree 100%. It's amazing how in such a short period of time you can be trained in a completely new area. And especially the online component, you know, a lot of online courses, it's hard to be engaging, but I thought it was so engaging, and even I learned more than probably in a classroom. I thought that just the accessibility and the feasibility and how facilitating everyone was on the team, that really helped with learning a new skill.
Thank you. What about you, girls? What if you had a friend and you would like them to join? What would you tell them to encourage them to join Women4IT?
I think to everyone, I think we learn a lot of this course in, like they said, in short time, we learn a lot, more than 4 years of career. And because we did all practical, and we did every single day exercise after our teacher said all the things that we needed to know in that day. And like to everyone, I'm very happy that I took this course, and I highly recommend.
Yes, really.
She thinks the same thing like me, because we did all this together.
Yes.
And we support ourselves, and I think that having a friend, and then after all of this course that then we create our own project together. I think, and more that we are women, and I don't know,
It's okay.
I'm really nervous.
It's okay. What do you think? What will you tell someone?
I will tell someone that to take it, because it's a great opportunity if you don't have an idea what you want to study. Personally, I came across this problem. It's not a problem. I'm young, and actually I don't have any experience in the labor sector. So I think if you don't know what you want to study, I will encourage you to try out. And those skills are not only for IT. You can also take those skills if you want to study anything else. So anyone that doesn't know what are their what they want to do, I will encourage them to try out everything, because if you don't know what you really want, you won't have a path where you want to go. So I will say, if you are in the same place as me, as I was 3 months ago, so I will tell you to try out everything. And not think about like seeing a paper, what are the careers and what are the abilities you have to do to have the careers. I will encourage you to try out everything.
Okay, you were talking now about just that, about you learn many things here that you can apply to your day-to-day life or to other jobs, to your work life. So I wanted to know, what have you learned in the project? What aspects have you applied later to your work or even to your day-to-day life?
I would say the strategies, how I organize myself doing anything. I was I wasn't really organized.
Okay.
And I learned a lot about having a schedule and doing a lot of things. But actually, in my real life, I'm helping my dad. He is a photographer.
Okay.
So I'm managing their social media account, and I'm learning a lot about marketing strategies. In the future, I want to make a marketing strategy for him because he wants to be a professional photographer.
Okay,
So
that's great.
That's the things that I will use in my daily life.
Okay, what about you too? What have you applied from what you learned?
I will say everything, because now that we are creating our brand, we are using marketing. Like she said, we are now more organized. We know how to do the things. We are using all the tips that our teacher said to us in our project. And I will say everything.
Yes, that's nice. That's really nice. Jean, what about you?
Yeah, so I have the confidence now really just to do these little tasks by myself. So for instance, I had to make a website and I was going to hire someone else, and they quoted me €2,000 to develop this website. And I was like, no. And then I said, oh, I've done Women for IT. I have an idea. I did the graphic design course. I know how to design a good website, but do I have the skill to actually put together a website? And it just gave me the confidence. And you know, I'm more likely now to do these things by myself. And by having the confidence, really, it gave me a gateway into the IT world. And before, I would have said, oh no, I'm not qualified, you know, I don't have a 4-year degree, I don't have this, but now it just gave me that confidence boost. Try it, try for yourself.
Theodora?
I totally agree with the confidence part. I think also with the analytical skills, the test planning, everything that we did in the software testing course changed my mindset. So now I'm a little bit more determined. I kind of know what I want. I can analyze more clearly and in an analytical way every task that I get. So I know how much it's going to take me, can I do it or not, in how much time can I do it, and how good I can deliver it. Now everything is really clear in my mind, and it really helps with the mindset and actually growing up and fulfilling these adult tasks that are a bit different from university assignments or high school assignments.
So will you take the course again? Would you do it again?
Yes, I maybe not the same course because I feel like I absorbed everything already from it. But I hear the girls had a really good time with graphic design, so I would try that anytime.
Oh, great. What about you, Jean? Would you take another course from Women4IT?
Yes, I've already asked, can I?
Oh, really?
At the start, I wanted to do both courses, but yeah, if I got the opportunity, I would definitely do it again. I'd love to do them all, actually.
What about you, girls? Will you take another course from Women4IT again?
Absolutely,
Of
yes.
course, yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. So I want to know what encouraged you in the first place to join Women4IT. What was the reason why you joined?
First of all, because of quarantine, I'm new here in Spain, and I didn't have much people to talk to from my age. So I really was looking for a course where I could talk to someone because I felt so alone, and I think I'm not the only one because I heard from my friends that, from this course that they were feeling the same way. And they were nearly these guys where they wanted to go because they couldn't go out and know someone else. So I think that's what I wanted. I wanted to know. I
Feel
wanted
connected with other
yes,
people?
to connect it to other people and from my age or nearly from my age. So I think that's what encouraged me.
Okay, how interesting. What about you two?
When we started that project, we were finishing the career, our degree of fashion design.
Okay.
And we saw that the fashion are digitalized. Yeah. And we decided to learn about that. And this is
Maybe to mix fashion and IT a little bit? Yeah.
Well, yes. We wanted because after we finished our degree, we saw that for the pandemic, all the things of fashion were online, and we wanted to know more about that. And we didn't want to be without doing anything. We wanted to learn more and more if other girls were in the same in the same moment that us. We wanted to share that with them, and that's it.
Okay, that's good reasoning. What about you, Jean? Why did you decide to join in the first place?
So for me, yeah, it was definitely because it was for women. Because when I was 16, when I just finished school, I did a taster course for coding and IT in a local college. And I was the only girl with 39 other boys. And it was very intimidating at the time, 16 years old, and all the boys were stereotypical, IT nerd with the superhero t-shirt. And I was just like, oh, there's no women, the teacher was not a woman. So I think when I saw the calling that this is for women only, I said, okay, phew, there's going to be people like me on the course. And that's definitely the reason why I picked it, because I saw other courses, Google courses, LinkedIn courses, and it didn't really, I didn't have the confidence to go for it because I thought, oh, maybe it's 39 men and 1 woman. But no, this course is different, and that was definitely the reason I decided to go for it.
And Theodora, why did you decide to join?
Yes, I think my motivation also stemmed from the obstacles that I experienced as a woman. So even if I was before interested in IT and the STEM sector, I always faced the obstacle and the stereotype that, oh, you didn't do your bachelor or your master's in computer science. I thought I actually lost the chance to ever be a part of the industry because I went to social sciences and politics. So when I saw the course, I was like, maybe this is not a lost chance. Maybe I still can give it a go. And the fact that it was all made by women for women actually gave me the courage to start, and it was the right choice.
How nice. And after, what are your thoughts or views about the presence of women in IT, in the IT industry after you took the course, after your time in the project? Theodora?
Now I can say that I'm very happy to work in the industry. I work at the European Parliament with artificial intelligence, and it's very refreshing to see more and more women working together with me and being in the industry, but we're still really not there. I think there are still a lot of obstacles I think that digital gender stereotypes are still there. The company cultures all over, especially in private companies, there's always this male bro toxic culture that really disregards the input of women. So I think what are we making now is the first steps towards a more inclusive culture in companies, in the public sector, and it's really important to encourage women from a young age to start on that path.
Jean?
Yeah, I think it's important also that young women see role models who are women in the IT sector. And even if it's just, I like going onto the social media, the Women4IT Instagram page, to read the stories of the girls like me who have done the course and where they're at now. And it's really refreshing to hear that just after a short course, you can actually apply for jobs and be successful.
What about you? What are your views after you took a course of women in the IT industry? What do you think?
In the beginning of all of this, I thought that the woman wasn't. We were a few in this in IT, but after took this course, I saw that more women are getting in these careers, and I think it's fantastic. I love it. I think that we have to be more women in doing these things because we are good, and we have to believe in us. And I think that is the problem that the women have sometimes, that we think, oh, no, no, no. And I think now, after all of this, that we can. And we know to do these things, and more the ID.
Yeah, we just need maybe a little bit more support from, as you said, from our community, or social context, from, in general, right?
Yes.
What do you think? How do you see women in IT after the training sessions?
Well, I didn't really know that so many women were in IT. But after we had talks with women that were in high positions in IT, I have another perspective that we are more take seriously than before. But also is important to teach younger women that IT is the future career, because many of them aren't in these careers because they don't want to, nearly, but also because the society take men more seriously.
Yeah.
But also we have to encourage another women to speak and be I don't know how to say it, like demonstrate that we can do it.
Of course.
Nearly as good as anyone else.
Exactly. A wonderful message. Yeah. So last question before Patricia and Kenya talks to us about their company. The last question that we wanted to know is, after the training and the sessions received, what do you think your professional future will be like?
I don't like to think about the future.
Okay.
Because right now, this is a great tool to get started. But actually, I think for everything that is doing, the world is doing, quarantine, coronavirus, I don't think thinking about the far future is really not good. But I think in the near future, I want to start practicing all these tools that has been given to me, and get better and better.
Nice. What about you?
I agreed with her. Now we are not going to think about the future, but now we are thinking about create our own brand, and we want to put all the skills that we got from the course in our brand.
So what can you tell us about your brand, about your company and the the process of creation?
In the beginning,
We started sharing a mask.
Okay.
Yes, and
then we saw that we sold so many masks, and we thought like, oh, maybe we can do more things.
The ones that you're wearing?
Yes.
Okay. Those are yours? Okay.
Yes.
And the brand is called? What's the name of the brand?
Nisu.
Nisu. Okay.
Is one phrase in Spanish that is like a joke,
Yeah.
but is.
Do you want to explain it?
Yes, I can explain it. Nisu means like not even your, his mother knows about it, about one brand, or if you buy some pants that you don't know the brand is, oh, Nisu created, and you don't know. But
Nisu is like the beginning of the sentence, not even his mom knows.
Yes.
Ni su madre lo conoce. So if you're asking someone, oh, those pants are nice, what's the brand? Ah, Nisu.
Yes.
You don't know, it has no brand. It's not Chanel, it's not Prada, it's Nisu. That's a really good name.
Yes, we want to put that name because we want to the people know about us.
Okay.
Like we don't know. We don't want the people say, "Oh, Nisu." I don't know. We want the people say, "Ah, I know Nisu," and for that name.
It's really great branding. Yeah. So what are you doing nowadays, or what are your next steps with the brand?
Nisu now is a little brand of accessories.
Okay.
Yes, inspired in 90s and 20s.
We are making bucket hats.
Yes.
Okay.
And little necklace and rings. And now we are 2 weeks ago. We started.
Yes.
To
show our work.
Okay.
Yes, to everyone.
Now we are shop. Can you?
What's the word in Spanish?
We are selling, no?
You're selling?
We are
¿Estáis
selling in
vendiendo?
Etsy.
On Etsy? Ah,
Yes.
you're selling on Etsy. Ah, okay, I will take a look. Okay.
Because we want to have our web, but now is
you're more focused on maybe creating your product.
We are focused on the social medias and create content and grow the brand.
Okay.
And
so it's better just to host your products on Etsy.
Yeah,
that's really smart.
Yes.
That's great. Okay, that's really nice. So on social media, you are Nisu. What's your handle?
Nisu, ¿cómo era? Nisu, the
dance score?
Yes, brand.
Brand. Okay, Nisu brand. Okay, great.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds really good. So Jean, after the training sessions, how do you think is going to be your future? Maybe your near future, if you don't want to think about a long term.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, like I had my self-employed business, and now my main seller was I was in tourism, so especially a lot of Spanish students, American tourists from Japan, China. They used to come to Dublin to learn to dance, learn my native culture of dance, and now I can bring that experience online. So I had 12 months of no sale, no work, and now I'm launching online and I can sell that product to the market globally. So it's a huge success for me to have that accessibility to the world and to be able to reach anyone across the world through my social media, through my website. And without Women4IT, I wouldn't have had that confidence to go down that route. I would have just waited for tourism to come back to Ireland, which at the moment there's no tourism for the summer. So I think that in the near future, we're all going to have to use IT no matter what, and especially blended learning, you know, it's going to be online learning and in person. And for Irish dancers who, you know, like they learn from a teacher, I want to create an app also that's going to help them to teach from home. So if there's a Women IT course for app creation, I'll do it.
Well, I think it's the time now to ask for one. So I would like to do it as well. I'm not that young anymore, but it would be wonderful. Theodora, what about you? What do you think you want to do in the future?
Well, my future for now, it's pretty, I would say. I'm really happy to have this opportunity in Parliament working with artificial intelligence in the digital age. And now I feel like through this project, I also lay not.
I think we
And
okay. Can you hear us now?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I hear you very well.
Okay. Sorry, you can keep going. Sorry.
I was saying that maybe
I think we're having some technical issues somewhere on our side. Jean, can you hear it well?
Yes, I can hear you well. Just the last thing.
Can you repeat that last bit, because we missed that part? Sorry, can you repeat that last part?
Yes, of course. I was saying, except for the theoretical part and the policy making that I'm already good at, now I actually have the technical component with digital policy and in the European Commission or in the EU anyway.
Okay, I think we missed some parts, but we got the general idea. Thank you so much, Theodora. We have some questions. We have some questions from people watching live. For example, Mónica Tejedor, Almudena Miranda, Almudena Miranda said, I have been working on online marketing since 1999, and I'm a marketing teacher for over 15 years, and I've noticed that there are few women teaching areas like analytics or SEO or SEM, but a lot teaching on social media. Okay, that's a good point, that's interesting. She also said, now the next step should be making a 360 marketing strategy, integrating offline with online. Maybe she was talking about what to do with maybe your businesses. Mm-hmm. She also said, I would encourage to all these young girls trying to think about all that they have learned and use it in the real world. People are not off or online. They just use the tools they have to get information. Okay. And she also said, it is great to involve young people in this type of projects, since they will be able to develop their own projects, not just waiting for a job. In Spain, we need more entrepreneurship. Absolutely agree. Yeah. I don't know if there is anything else that you want to add from home, Jean or Theodora?
Just to say thank you so much for the opportunity. You know, without it, I would still be unemployed. And now that I can pivot my business and let it survive through anything, I feel like I have that confidence now, and it's thanks to you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Theodora?
Yes, as a closing, I would follow on that idea and say that indeed it was a great opportunity, and it really gave me confidence in my technical skills, and now I feel like I'm more complete in my industry and in my career.
Patricia, Kenya?
I think the same thing. Yeah. Like they said, I feel very confident now after the course, and we are going to follow the
the thing that Almudena said and create more things.
Yeah, exactly. Sophia, what about you?
Like in the same track, I feel the same. I have evolved so much personally and professionally, and I think we have to encourage more women to get into this project and find new things that they like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you all of you for being here today with us, sharing your experiences and being so brave and so inspiring and talented. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
having me. Gracias. Okay, so in our final panel for today's conference, we are going to have the opportunity to listen to the experiences and advice of inspiring women who already are relevant, who already have a relevant role in the industry. Our speakers for panel 3 are, first of all, Cristina Ricuarte. She's German by birth, but she's Colombian by education, and she has decided to make Spain her forever home. She studied 2 degrees, business administration in Colombia and economics in Germany, and she also holds a master's degree in transformational leadership. In 2007, she joined SAP Colombia as an intern, then junior. Until now, she has held various positions that have also allowed her to live and work in different parts of the world. And now she is the director of the Solutions and Innovation area at SAP Spain. Welcome, Cristina, to the stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. And our second panelist is Nerea de Luis, cum laude doctor in artificial intelligence. She has founded the free national event TechFest with more than 1,600 attendees and 80 speakers on science and technology. In January 2018, she joined Thecotech Foundation as an expert in technology, talent, and gender. She has continued working with Google, the Anita Björk Institute, the Royal House, and many technological events. She also continues publishing scientific articles on automatic multi-agent planning. And recently, Nerea has received the Order of Civil Merit Decoration. Welcome, Nerea.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Okay, thank you both for being here with us. Your careers are so inspiring, so inspiring.
You cannot see it, but actually I'm smiling.
Me too. It hurts in my cheeks. I've been smiling the whole time, listening to the younger students and listening how everyone is sharing such an amazing journey and experiences. Okay, I know this is not an easy task, what I'm going to ask of you, okay? But could you tell us about your professional, personal journey since you started your studies up to this point in your life now? I know it's really like a long journey, but maybe if it is, it's going to be really good for the girls listening at home and here, and maybe it's going to be inspirational to know how your journey was and the hardships you encountered and the good parts also. Maybe we can start with you?
For sure. So first, before we start, to set the record straight, I was born in Colombia, but I was raised in Germany.
Okay, so
because
sorry.
I don't look very German.
Okay.
So, okay, let's talk about my career. The first thing I wanted to say is that I didn't know what I wanted to study.
Okay.
And this is relevant because now I am here being a director. So for all of those girls who don't know what to do with their lives, don't worry. It will come. We have sometimes so much pressure on, do you know what you want to be? Do you know what to? No, I don't. So the only thing I knew at that point is that I saw my dad. He traveled a lot. He was a CEO in a company. He was always traveling. He had a suitcase, and when he came back, he had a lot of presents for me and my brother. So I said, when I grow up, I want to have a suitcase and travel a lot and buy a lot of presents and had those travels with presents. So I said I want to do something with business, of course. That's what my dad did. And when I joined university, I did business administration and economics. I think at least that's how we call it in Colombia. So as you can see, it had nothing to do with technology itself. But when I started advancing in my career, I understood that technology was the pillar and the future to making change happen. So at my point, I don't know, I understood the internet was coming and so on, and I started realizing if you want to change something, you need technology as an habilitator and catalyzer. So I said, okay, business, technology, something there. And then I started, when I was almost about to graduate, I started working for SAP.
Still in Colombia?
Still in Colombia. I was in Colombia, and I did an internship in SAP. And the only reason I chose SAP was because this was my dad's office, and SAP was the door right next to it.
Okay, practical reasons.
So I said, you know what, I don't know what they do, but let me knock on their door. And I presented myself, and I said, I can do whatever you put me to do. I want to do my thesis with you, investigate. And it happened to be a technology company. So SAP is a technology company. I started in my internship, and then I started moving along. And the more I got into SAP, and the more I understood technology, the more I became super passionate that this was the future. Especially because I was doing 1 year something, and then the next year it was already outdated, and we needed to reskill and learn something. So I was never bored. It was always learning. And from Colombia, I went to Germany, and I became a consultant. After being in an internship, I was doing implementation for HR technology.
Okay.
So everything that is automating HR processes. I was in Germany, and I got the international experience there. It was super interesting, and I always wanted more and to understand what's coming more and so on. And then I got a few more opportunities until one day, someone saw me presenting, and he said, do you want to be a manager? And I did exactly what they were discussing, I think here, the first panel, and the young girls, the young ladies. Is me, manager? Are you crazy? I cannot do it. I'm not ready for that. No way, I'm not. I cannot even manage myself. And then this person said, no, you will do it. Just take the opportunity, you will learn. And I said, okay. But we do this contract. You are the one who told me I should be a manager. So please, in this contract, you're gonna be my mentor, and you're gonna help me every time I'm feeling scared. And this is how we did it. And after I was a few years as a consultant, then I became a manager. When I became a manager, apparently I was good at it. And I got promoted, and now I'm a director with 38 years. I have a team of 70 people.
Wow.
And I love what I do. I'm super passionate. And I understood that not only technology is the future of changing things, but by being a leader, you can also impact people. So I think that's the part I love the most about my job.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
What a great career.
I could...
and I'm sure there are many, many things to come, too.
Of course.
You're super
I
young.
hope so. And I also can continue talking, but I think Nerea, everyone is expecting to hear from you.
Tell us about your journey since you were...
Since I was a child, almost. So my story starts when I was kind of like 7, 8 years old, more or less. So I never had like a father or a mother that previously worked in technology or anything like that. So that's why I said that I discovered technology in a funny way, which was like a hobby. So basically what happened is that I was super passionate about Japanese culture, so manga, anime, and all that.
Same.
And I really loved drawing, but just drawing manga and doing all those things in my room. But it was super hard to learn, to know more about that field.
It was not accessible at the time,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
You were in Spain, it was really hard to go to a comic shop or
exactly, but I was super convinced that I wanted to go that way. So when my uncle discovered to me Google, I remember the first time that he was saying, hey, you can put here wherever you want, and something will happen right after.
So I put there, okay, so Sailor Moon, which was like my favorite show in the TV. And I was like, what? Like a lot of resources, a lot of information came up. And I really remember that time as something that clearly changed my mind about what a computer was. So that's why I'm saying, like, I discovered technology and the power of the internet to share knowledge in a free way, really when I was like 8, 9 years old. So after that, I decided to do what people did at the internet, which was to build your own website. So I had no idea, but I really wanted just to read and to try to do it myself. So I built my Sailor Moon website, and it was there like for 3, 4 years, more or less. But it really helped me to learn how the technology can be built with your own hands, right? And just by reading tutorials, like I was doing that in the early 20s. So when I did that, as it was just like part of my hobby, I didn't mention that in high school, but my teachers discovered that I was pretty good at doing all these computer science tasks that we had. So one of my teachers said to me that I could study computer science or engineering. I mean, here in Spain we say ingeniería informática, but in English the equivalent would be computer science. And I was like, oh, so there's a career on this. So that's great, that's awesome. Like I can earn a life just by doing computer science and programming. So I did that, and on the second year, I discovered artificial intelligence, which was even more cool. So basically, once you have your programming skills, you can make your algorithms learn by themselves and through the data that you feed to them. So I was really passionate about that. But again, as this was before 2015, artificial intelligence was really an academic field. So you couldn't really find a lot of examples in companies, especially in Spain. So that's why I said, okay, so maybe I want to go and pursue a PhD, which in Spanish is a doctorado. And so it got me like 4.5 years to do this PhD on artificial intelligence. It was hard, but it allowed me to travel a lot and to meet other people that also were doing amazing things in artificial intelligence. And in that time, I got really engaged into dissemination. So what about telling people about science, technology, and how amazing this is, right? To share your knowledge as I was doing it when I was barely like 10 years old, so why not now? And that's why I co-founded TechFest at university. So TechFest is an event that came from a group of students just to share what technology is about. What we wanted is to bring people back to the university. So either colleagues at some companies, researchers, also startups, and to build there like some kind of, I don't know, innovation circle or space where everyone could share their thoughts about technology and their knowledge. And that was really an impressive movement. So TechFest came from barely 200 people to 2,000 in 6 years. And we couldn't celebrate it last year, of course, for the pandemic. But we are really, really proud of what we achieved. So at least on the national level, we got a lot of impact. And that's also what allowed me to move from research to a company where I can, well, at least share my time between doing my job, which is artificial intelligence in a technical way, but also to be here and to tell my stories and to do these disseminations. And that's why I'm really proud. And technology can, I don't know, give you anything if you know how to, like, to click the right button or to put the right comment. So.
Where is it hosted? TechFest? Where is it hosted?
Oh, so TechFest was done, I mean, now it's digitally done, like online, but it was in the Universidad Carlos III.
Okay, en Getafe?
Yeah, Leganés.
Ah, Leganés,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, engineering is there, so that's why.
Yeah. Okay. Politics isn't. Okay, I think you wanted to add something.
No, I just wanted to add that I love this tandem because you can see she knew exactly what she was good at. So I encourage everyone who already knows, go that path. And if you see my case, I didn't know and I still managed to be where I am. So don't worry, it will come. You can do this. And also, I want to add something is, you, Nerea, come from this technical background where you are an absolute expert on. I'm not. I'm on the business side of things. I understand things on a strategical level. I don't go into the details. I don't know them. So I think that when you're thinking about technology, if you have the technological skills, come on, girls, let's do this.
Exactly.
If you don't, remember there is an entire ecosystem of skills that we need to deliver this technology. For example, one thing where she was talking about what she was good at school. I was very good at communicating. So every time we need a volunteer for a presentation, it was, me. I love to being in the spotlight and explaining things. So why is this so important? Because someone is creating the technology and someone needs to tell it, explain stories, sell it. So remember, girls, ladies out there, that it doesn't matter if you have the technical background or not. We need a lot of skills to make this happen.
Exactly. That's a really, really relevant message to put out there. If you want to work in tech or in STEAM disciplines, even if you don't have the skills or the motivation maybe sometimes to do like the very technical job, there are many other jobs involved in IT. Yeah, that's really true. I wanted to ask you about the challenges that you faced during your career until now, during your journey, because maybe sometimes if we don't have, now we do, thankfully now we do role models such as yourselves or the teachers before, or these girls, these young girls, they are role models now for other girls, but we didn't used to have them. So I think it's really important to share the hardships. So when you encounter one, you don't feel by yourself, you don't feel alone. It's like, oh, this is happening to me, I feel so alone. That happens. So what hardships did you find in your career and how did you overcome them?
So in the case of technology, and that's a good question, sometimes it's hard to find yourself out there. Because so I remember when I decided that I wanted to do computer science, some people were talking to me in high school saying like, oh, but that's like for boys and that's difficult. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, we know you are good at maths and technology, but are you really sure? And all those questions, of course, you can just ignore them, which is what I did, but still they are on your mind.
Yeah.
So if you have like insecurities, if you don't have the strength to go forward these questions, sometimes it's really hard to take that decision further.
Yeah.
So in my case, I'm really proud of what I did. Now looking back, I wasn't really aware at that moment. But when I was doing my computer science degree, I remember that I was like, well, like I can really handle these boys. Like they are not that hard to manage, right? But at the same time, I was feeling that my conversations changed, the way of talking changed, the way even of dressing yourself, because somehow you always want to like to fix, to be there, like to not overemphasize yourself, I don't know, in all this environment of 90% boys. So that was something that I realized right after I finished my degree. So when I was in my PhD, when I was pursuing my PhD, I had the chance to travel to the United States for a collaboration during 4 months. And I was shocked there because the first thing they did for me was to put me in a group of women in computer science. Oh. And suddenly, like, we had a lunch meeting with like 40 to 50 women in computer science from that campus. And I was like, whoa, like I have never seen that many ladies in the room, right? And I discovered that they have their own conversations and they look like, I don't know, like girl conversations, right? They were not about, I don't know, football cards or whatever. So I was really shocked about that, and I discovered how valuable it is to have your own network of women that work in this kind of technology or, I don't know, highly masculinized worlds or sectors. And that gave me also the strength to talk about it. So when you listen to women that have done the same things as you are, they tell you their own stories, and they tell you why it is important that you tell also your stories. And that's what I did when I came back from the United States. I was pretty convinced that I had to build something like this. So in that sense, Google helped me to do it through the Women Tech Makers initiative. And since then, I have met many girls that want to start, or some others that have already developed their own careers in technology. But still, like, it's really good to have your safe spaces that are only women. And I mean, I have feel it myself, like how conversations change, how confidence change, how you can share your own insecurities. And I don't want to say this. How you feel
understood as well.
Exactly. So I don't want to say this to make you insecure, because you can build your career in technology. It's just that this is a complementary vision that we previously didn't have. And by building these networks of women, we are helping each other to be better, to try to promote, as she was saying, and to have other references, because we didn't really have one when we were little. So now you have a lot of stories there, and that's really, really amazing.
What about the corporate or business world, the corporate side of IT? What challenges did you face?
Yeah, so first I want to remind again that I'm 38. So this happened a lot, really times ago. So I believe things have changed. So I'm going to tell my perspective. I had, if I could categorize what were my issues or hardships, as you call them, I would say cultural, my own limiting beliefs, and a little bit the, I don't know which one of the ladies was saying it before, a little bit the culture, men culture, the world of men I was living in. So the societal or cultural was, as I grew up in Colombia, the normal thing to do there was you get out of university with 24,
as a woman.
21, as a woman, you get married and you have kids, of course.
Okay.
What else can you do, right? And I was never like that. So my first was my own, like, I don't feel like I'm like my friends. I don't, everyone was, so when are you getting married and having children? And I'm like, I'm 21. I want to see the world. Like, I don't want children right now. I don't want to get married. I want to see the world. So that was one thing that I don't think it's like that anymore. Okay. But if anyone out there feeling like they have to be what society tells you to be, no, you don't, right? You need to be what you want to be. The second thing is the culture, a little bit of men. So when I joined the technology world, it was dominated by men. It still is a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
And I remember, and this is an anecdote I want to share. It's actually, now it's funny, you know. I went to, when I went to live to Germany, the first thing is that I went alone, and everyone was asking me, but you have a man? Are you with someone here? And I'm like, no, what's the problem of being by myself? But anyhow, I joined a team, and it was 28 men, and I was the only girl. And besides, it was a German group, so everyone was like 2 meters high, and I'm like 155, walking like la, 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 you know? And I was the project manager of a team, and my team was myself as the manager and 6 men, literally. And we had a meeting with a company that was also dominated by men, and they wanted to start the project. They invited us, and I went in and I said hello to everyone. It was only men. And then the guy from the customer told me, can you please serve us the coffee, and then you can leave?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I said, of course I want to serve you the coffees. Wait, give me, how do you want your coffee? How do you want, I served everyone the coffee, and then I said, but I cannot leave because your project is in my hands. So do you want me to leave or not? This guy was like, oh, no, no, sorry. Okay, anyhow, it went good. But my question was, what was on his mind to thinking that because I am the only lady, I was the one who's serving the coffee? So this was the culture at that time. By the way, it only made me stronger and saying, you know what, this is, I'm gonna show them, you know? So on the downside, or not downside, is that I always had the feeling that I had to work twice as hard to prove myself. So everyone, all these men, at 5 p.m. they said, oh, I have to pick up my kid, I have to go to soccer, I have to drink beers. And I was like, well, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work. And so that, I think that was kind of the hardest, which takes me to my last point, which is my own limiting beliefs. No one told me that I had to work twice as hard. Actually, it was myself telling it to me. I was the one who said, I'm gonna show them. And for me, that translated into working twice as hard, learning twice as much, being everywhere possible. And another thing is that even though I understood I was better, I was, you know, I come from Colombia, I learned German, I learned to present in German, I learned technology in German, so everything was more difficult. But my own limiting beliefs at the beginning was maybe what you were saying, insecurities. So when they started offering me positions, when they started noticing me and saying, you can be a manager, I was always saying, no, wait, I have to work 3 times more than I am now, until I understood now that I am 38, that I can do it. We can do it. Just do it. Take the opportunity. You will learn. Don't worry. And to finalize with another personal anecdote is when they offered me the position of director, which is managing people, I said again, no, I'm not ready. And then someone told me there is a kid, he's 25 years old in the company, and he had applied to the job.
Of course, as I said before.
And my mind said, what? He's been 3 years in this company, and he's applying, and I said, okay, that job is mine.
Because we were raised differently. Sadly, we were. And we grew in a sociocultural environment that tell women that we should be doing other things, that we should be more humble, that we should be in other ways. So of course, that boy applied because as I mentioned before, like even if he wasn't meeting all the criteria for the job, he went for it. But we as women, we doubt ourselves and we say we're not enough and no, I won't be able to do it. And yes, of course, all of my friends, all of my female colleagues who work in IT or video games, technology, everything in the STEAM industries, we all are extraordinary.
Exactly.
We are not mediocre.
Exactly.
And many men are. I'm not criticizing men in IT. Absolutely, I'm not. But I'm saying that I encounter many people and many men that are just good at their jobs, just good. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to are. Good, just enough. But we need to be excellent. And all my colleagues, all my fellow colleagues in video games, I work in video games, they are excellent.
Yeah.
So let's bring that down. We don't need to be excellent. If we are, that's great. But we just need to be good. We need to be good at our jobs.
And believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I also wanted to gather some really nice memories, or as I wanted to know before from the girls, any good memories that you have or any milestone where you felt, oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm really doing this.
Yeah, so
and I'm good at this.
I have two. So first thing was when Google notified me that that they wanted to give me this award. So it was like a scholarship award kind of thing.
Okay.
So I was feeling the same way as she was saying. Like I remember to see the application, and you had to build 4 essays on some project that you have done, and that it's emphasizing somehow the dissemination of technology in your own local environment. And I was like, oh no, like, that's not for me. Like, how am I going to apply to this Google thing? Like, it was like a global application. It was Europe, Middle East, and Africa in my case. So at some point I was in Christmas and I was like, nah, I'm doing this and whatever, like, let's see what happens. And a few months later, they told me that I was classified as a finalist, and I had the last interview with a Googler to explain to them why I was telling this project, which I chose TechFest in that application. And I remember when I had this interview, I thought that they were going to disqualify me because it was by the time when I was in the United States studying, and I was like, no, but I promise that I'm from Spain, like I'm not in the United States, it's just a temporary thing. And they were like, no, but it's fine, like it's amazing, like how have you done this? I was 25 by the moment, today I'm 30, and they were astonished by how many things I did done like in that years. Like they were like, you are super young and you should be super proud. And it was like the first validation that I got from, super corporate tech, big tech company that of course is one of the leading companies in technology and also in artificial intelligence. So it was like, I mean, if Google says so, I guess that I'm good. And the second part was, so when I decided to tell my story, because of course Google had validated me, like that's how women, like our brain works. So I was shocked when I got all these good news from TechFest, like how many messages did we get about the students that were coming to Madrid, people from all over Spain, even some came from London or Berlin to the conference. And we decided to open one of the last editions. We decided to open it with a keynote that was very focused on persons behind technology. So instead of talking about the latest, I don't know, Android or iOS or whatever technology that was at that time, we talked about diversity, inclusion, feminism as values that should be there in all these technology environments and products. And I remember how we opened a huge conversation in Twitter. Like we were trending topic in barely 20 minutes after the event started. I remember how many people were talking in this friendly chat that you do, between talks about, but these guys were opening these events just talking about abstract things, right? Like, what about feminism in technology? Like, is that even a thing? So there were a lot of discussions on that, and we received lots of messages from women saying, hey, today you did something that really encouraged myself to tell my story, or to say, hey, I am related with that conversation, with that kind of seeing the technology, with that perspective. And that was something that really, changed my mind. And don't be afraid of switching the story that you've been told about technology. Like, technology is not Silicon Valley. Technology is what you want to make of it. So just build your own story around technology, and it's as valid as any other that you've been told before. So that's one of my, super amazing anecdote that I can tell.
So I have two. Let me be brief. The first one is I also won a prize. It's called the Hasso-Plattner Award. It's given by one of the founders of SAP.
Okay.
And it's given to one person or a group or a project or an idea. And we are a company of 100,000. So getting chosen, that was amazing. So to tell you what was the prize and what did we do. The nice thing about the story, it's not only the prize which of course is sitting somewhere at my house and I'm proud of, but it's how the story started, because it started from something where we failed, where I failed big time. So we had, to make the long story short, is we had a very important customer, a lot of millions. We were trying to sell them something. We put together a team, and we failed. It was horror. The competition won, we lost. It was something nobody could understand because we knew we were the best ones. We absolutely failed. And we understood at that point, you know what? Just being the best technology doesn't mean we are going to be chosen. So we understood that we had to change the way we sell and the whole experience of buying SAP. And for that, we built a team. I was invited to the team, and we created and recreated the whole customer experience. And that project, where we got a lot of effort, time, extra time, because it was not during my job, it was after hours, we won that prize, and that was super. So my message, again, is from failure, something spectacular came out. We won this prize. And then the other thing that is my absolute proud moment, and it's not one moment, it's ongoing, and hopefully it will go on forever, is, as I mentioned before, as a leader, you have to serve your team, and you have the chance to impact on people's life, not only on the professional side. So every time some of my team members tell me, I am staying here because of you, or thank you for helping me this, or thank you because I grew because of you. So I really, really love that, and I hope we can inspire more women, because we need you in our teams. We want you, we need you. So that is, I think, the proudest moment where I believe we can transcend, not just ascend in the company ladder, but actually transcend and be very aware that we are touching people's life, even if it's a professional conversation.
That is so precious. Yeah, thank you. And just to finish up with our panel, with our last panel, is there any advice for young women who want to start working in STEAM disciplines or in IT that you would like to tell them? What would you like to say to a girl that is watching from home and she's down in herself, or she's not supported by her community or her parents, or I don't know?
So I always say that same thing as I did. So I was discovering technology through a hobby, which was drawing, and then I started programming, and then I did my whole professional career in artificial intelligence. So if you are lost, if you need some examples of what you like right now, use, your search engine, like your favorite, I don't know, Google or whatever other, type there your hobbies plus artificial intelligence plus technology, and you're going to see a lot of examples that you can feel related to, because maybe you don't want to work on technology, but you want to apply technology to medicine, to health. You can, I don't know, apply technology to retail, if you like fashion, if you like cinema. So technology has become a transversal thing and a skill that is going to be needed for any sector. So don't be afraid of discover technology in your most preferred field, and just enjoy. There are a lot of things that haven't been discovered yet. Everything that we were talking was maybe happened in the last 10 years, and that's nothing. So technology moves really quickly, and there's a space for everyone. So just do it and enjoy.
I would say, think what you are really good at, and try to see where and what could you do with that on the, for example, technology space or whatever. So I think one thing is super clear, is that technology is the pillar, is the catalyzer for any change that is happening in the world. And the second thing is, if you are good at something, trust me, we will be able to find a space for you in the technology area. If you let me one small story.
Of course.
There is a lady in my team, she's very young actually, graduated a few years back. And when she was joining SAP, or when she was interviewing, I asked her, so what's your skill? And as we were saying, she didn't have hundreds of years of experience like some companies ask for, right? And she said, I love designing. I love painting. I love doing beautiful PowerPoints and things. Do you know SAP? Nope, no clue what's SAP. Do you know artificial intelligence? Nope, sorry. But I can make you a super nice video. I know how to. And I said, that's amazing. And I said, why do you think you fit in SAP? And she said, because you need to deliver things, and it needs to be beautiful. Exactly. You cannot have a spectacular solution and then go with a horrible PowerPoint and say and do horrible things and bore you to death until you get the message. So we hired this person, and she's now the designer, and she's doing incredible things that none of us can do. So again, think what you're good at. If you're good at communications, if you're good at designing and painting things, and go with it and say, I am good at this. This is how we can use this skill for technology, for any other field. And last but not least is we need you. We need more women. I totally and truly agree that the women are excellent. We have skills that combined with men's skills make a super powerful team. And as a leader, they tell me, you have to hire women. Of course I want to hire them, but where are they? Show them to me. So that's my message. Come on, you can do it. I know you can do it.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the two of you. It was super inspiring. Thank you for sharing your journey, your experiences, your message. And thank you so much for joining us today, everyone here and at home, to once more highlight the importance of this kind of initiatives. Thank you so much for Women4IT. And of course, thank you again to everyone, all our speakers, everyone who intervened today. There's so much still left done, but with the motivation and inspiration shared here today, we are sure we will achieve our goals. Thank you so much. And finally, to close today's conference, we are going to listen to Carme Artigas Brugal, State Secretariat for Digitalization and Artificial Intelligence from the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Digital Transformation. Thank you so much.
Buenos días. Es un placer participar en este evento de liderazgo de las mujeres jóvenes en la economía digital, organizado en el marco del proyecto Women4IT de Plan Internacional con motivo del Día de Internet. Quiero desde aquí felicitar esta iniciativa tan enriquecedora en torno a un tema esencial para el futuro de nuestro país y el éxito de la digitalización que afrontamos, como es el protagonismo de las mujeres jóvenes en la transición digital. Un reto que desde la Secretaría de Estado de Digitalización e Inteligencia Artificial consideramos fundamental de cara a diseñar entre todas y todos la España digital inclusiva e igualitaria que queremos. Una España libre de discriminaciones y que rompa las barreras de género que nos impiden avanzar hacia la igualdad real. En plena transformación digital, el cierre de las brechas digitales es sin duda una de las prioridades que tenemos desde el Gobierno de España. Y en concreto, la brecha digital de género es aún una realidad que debemos cambiar y vamos a cambiar. Porque la transformación digital rompe paradigmas y crea nuevas oportunidades e implica también una sociedad más compleja y diversa, donde el talento, que no tiene género, es nuestra principal infraestructura de valor. El único camino posible es el de avanzar. Talento, unidad y progreso son las claves de este proceso. Y las mujeres debemos tener un lugar central y protagonista. Confiemos en nosotras mismas y visibilicemos referentes femeninos, porque son muchos y es fundamental mostrarnos y ser inspiración también de las nuevas generaciones. El fomento de las vocaciones STEM desde pequeñas, competencias digitales, formación de especialistas mujeres en tecnologías avanzadas como la inteligencia artificial o apoyo a proyectos emprendedores liderados por mujeres son cuestiones esenciales de la Estrategia Nacional de Inteligencia Artificial, del Plan Nacional de Competencias Digitales o del Plan de Digitalización de las Pymes que ya hemos puesto en marcha. Junto a ello, con la Carta de Derechos Digitales de la Ciudadanía que estamos trabajando desde el Gobierno de España, incluimos derechos como la no discriminación algorítmica por cuestión de género. Estamos ante un momento clave para el desarrollo digital de nuestro país y de nuestra sociedad. Nos jugamos mucho. Un futuro que es digital y para cuya construcción no podemos dejarnos atrás la mitad de nuestro talento. Demos a las niñas y adolescentes de hoy la posibilidad de liderar el futuro, porque del éxito de la igualdad de género en el mundo digital depende el futuro de nuestro país. Entre todos y todas debemos luchar por una España más justa, más inclusiva y más igualitaria. Lo conseguiremos. Muchas gracias. Buenos días.